staying with us, if you're just joining us, the show is Report Desk Africa. Now, before we usually go into the topics of the day, I will take you through some of the stories that we tracked last week or in last week's news. Now, we did tell you, well, I wasn't there, but we did tell you that the Togolese activists and opposition have called for the protest to stop the country's president from signing off on a new constitution that would, that would scrap future presidential elections and could see for Nasingbe Yedema, who is the current president, rule for an extended term. We also informed you about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's formation of a task force to come up with emergency solutions to fix the country's ailing economy.
And finally, we informed you that Ethiopia's biggest bank says it has recovered nearly 80% of the cash it lost during what it say was a glitch in its system. Grab a seat, and we'll be right back just after this break as we go in deep into the hot topics we have for you today.
All right, so Niyi, I would hold you up on that. Before we go on that break, first of all, while I was away, what did I miss?
A lot of things, sincerely. There was a point where I and Blessing wore the same, we didn't wear the same thing. I and the guest wore the same thing, and Blessing was feeling, yeah. No, I won't use that one because the guy. We just wore the same kind of outfit. Yeah.
And Blessings was feeling out of place.
Feeling out of place. So now that you're back, you know, a shining armor. So I'm sure you do justice to that. I'll sit back.
All right. Now we jump straight into the meat of the matter. We're going into the Third Mainland Bridge. And, well, we do know now that after, about 12 weeks, after undergoing extensive repairs for about 12 weeks, I beg your pardon. Now, the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, if you're familiar with Lagos, Nigeria, you most likely would know this bridge. At some point, it was the longest in West Africa. It has now been reopened today, April 4th. Now, the bridge, which is a vital link between Lagos Mainland and Lagos Island, particularly other parts of Lagos, was partially closed on the 9th of January for major rehabilitation work. But this, unfortunately, has caused major traffic congestion. I can tell you firsthand because I have been experiencing that traffic congestion for the past 12 weeks. Now, the successful reconstruction project is expected to improve traffic flow in Lagos State and to ensure safety on this very iconic bridge. Let's take a look at this, short clips from the bridge and from the reopening of the bridge as our correspondent Bettina Nwelih was overseeing some of the things that happened earlier today.
Ease a lot of stress on Lagosians. Now, since the closure of the bridge, we've noticed that every other person that's trying to access the island part of Lagos State have to go, it's like taking a roundabout, going all the way around to get to your destination. When a destination that you could get to in like 1 hour, because of the closure of the bridge, it was taking some people 2, 3, even 4 hours, depending on how bad the traffic is. So the reopening of this bridge is going to really, really ease stress of Lagosians. Hopefully, maybe also reduce the price of bus fares, because now it's a straight-ahead one-way trip. No need to turn around anymore.
I want to tell you that the job is about 95% completed, not 100%, but other works that are remaining to be done can be ongoing while traffic move on the bridge. What we have outstanding now is just provision of solar lights, and the contractor is actually working. One bound is almost completed, the median is almost completed, then we'll now move to the ramps. And then we have the CCTV and the guardrails. The guardrails installation is on now. It took time because it was freshly manufactured, and it took time before the manufacturer finished with it. And now it's on site, fixing is ongoing. We're spraying the old ones, and Third Mainland has a very, very brand new look. So I want to advise that we please enjoy it. Although it is delicate, let us enjoy it and treat it as if it's a personal property.
Yes, that was a very brief, well, you could call it a report. Bettina Nwelih, who will be joining us in a short while, was at the Third Mainland Bridge, and she actually saw that the bridge had been reopened. Niyi, for people who don't live in Lagos particularly, they may not understand the force behind the reopening of the Third Mainland Bridge. I can tell you for free that a journey that would take me, that should take me about 45 minutes before from my house to the office, started taking 2 hours, sometimes an hour and 50 minutes because of the closure of the bridge. Now, we know it was for a good cause, and as we can see on the screen, the bridge is putting on a new look, just like the minister did say, but it had been challenging. And that, of course, is because of the significance that the bridge poses to Lagosians.
It has always been challenging, sincerely, because I remember this is not the first time this rehabilitation work has commenced. They've done these over the years. In fact, it's almost like a yearly ritual now. You see it being done every year. There's a maintenance. Hopefully, this one actually lasts long, because this bridge is not only important, it's a connective route for people going from the mainland to the island, and of course the island to the mainland. Other routes are not as, I wouldn't say not as smooth or efficient, but they're not this straightforward. You know, once you hit the end of Yanoworo on this bridge, it's just about, at top speed, even average speed, 7 minutes, you're at the end of the bridge at Adeniji. And it just makes things easy. And you can see from the look of things, it looks like they've done a very, very good work. Although, we'll, as one of my friends will say, only time will tell. Because the truth is, you will see it looking smooth now, you see it looking okay, which has been the looks we have seen over time. And all of a sudden, in 2, 3, 4 months, we see that things start taking a very, very bad turn. But let's give currently to the minister, Omoniyi, who, of course, they said is an engineer, actually, and he knows what he's doing. And you see the way he's monitoring some of these things, the construction work, the materials being used, and all those things. And let's hope that this time around, this new look, and of course, this rehabilitation works, will actually last a little bit longer, if not even for 5, 6 years, because this is not a bridge we should always be
I was going to come to that. You know, first of all, you talked about the materials used and then the length of time that it should last. I remember when the bridge was going to be closed on the 9th of January, I was in Bettina's place there. I did that report that day, and you know, we were told that the bridge, some of the things that we were told were going to be repaired. The top asphalt, in fact, I heard that word so many times, I feel like I'm a construction engineer right now. The top asphalt was going to be scraped off, and then a new one was going to be laid, and we see that has been done. The lanes have been repainted, that has been done. We're told that the railings, those aluminum railings, some of them had been broken off. They were going to be replaced. I think that was also done as well. The street lights, I think they said it was going to be solar powered. I don't know about that, but the street lights look brand new. And then they said, depending on time that they have and funds made available, they probably also intend to do CCTV cameras on the bridge. I don't know if that has been completed yet. And as for the time factor, the minister did say that if all other things being equal, if the bridge is properly maintained, it should take at least another 5 years, like you rightly said, before any other major rehabilitation work will be done on the bridge. Now, this, like you said, all other things being equal, this would now also depend on our own usage of the bridge, ensuring that we don't, first of all, unnecessarily overload vehicles, don't have avoidable accidents that could chip off part of the bridge, break the railings, you know, all these things we've seen in the past. So again, the government has done their own part. It's time for us to do our own part. Enjoy the bridge, but maintain it. But one thing I like is the part where we hear that there will be speed limit machines.
Because the truth is, once you hit the leg of that bridge, Bernard, once you hit the leg of that bridge and your leg is on that accelerator, with how smooth that road is, you just want to press it down. But the truth is, it's better safe than sorry. I think the FIRC did a survey, was it 2 years or a year ago, and tried to do an estimate of, if you run at top speed, how many minutes will it take you from the end of the bridge from Iyanoro to Adeniji? And if you run at average speed, how many minutes will it save? Will it actually take you? I think at top speed, at higher speed, you get in 6, 7 minutes. And at average speed, you get there in probably 9, 10 minutes. So I really don't think it's a good deal to waste your life for extra 3 minutes, which you're probably going to save on the bridge. Because once you're gone from that bridge, the rescue rate, if I can put it that way, is not so, your how do they call it? The way, how they respond to your rescue is not so swift, because there's a whole lot that can happen in just a few minutes. You could be drowning, you could be burning, you could be doing, so many other things could be happening. But the joy here is that this bridge is finally being done. And I want to believe this time around, it's really going to last long. I remember the last repair works they did on the bridge was underneath. Yes. Some patch that were moving out, some pillars, some joints, the railings, as you've said. That were, but what I'm more concerned about is the security on the bridge. All right.
Speaking about security, just before we jump into that, we have Bettina Nwelih, our dear correspondent, who Well, I'll say it was our own turn to monitor the bridge this time. I have done my monitoring. Niyi has done his.
Right.
Even Adeshewa too was at the bridge at some point.
Right.
Bettina, thank you for joining us. We know that you were you had a very sunny day at the bridge, but you don't look like what you've been through.
Well, thank God we don't look like what we've been through, so we're thankful for that.
All right. So Bettina, we saw the clips on the bridge. First of all, I know that you and I suffered this bridge or suffered this bridge.
Please stop saying it like I've not suffered the bridge too.
So I'd like you to tell us, you know, some of the new things you're saying. We hear that the bridge looks as good as new. Is that true? I'm probably going to take that same route back home this evening. But tell me what I'm expecting to see when I'm going back this evening.
Well, truly, the bridge does look like it's brand new. You can see from the paintings and the coal tars, fresh coal tars that were poured, you know, on the road. But other than that, the road is now smooth to the point where people really need to be careful. Because just like you were talking about the speed limit a few seconds ago, if motorists do not stick to the, you know, accredited speed limit on that road, the likelihoods of accidents coming back to back, it's very high. And that is why we've had last mile, you know, trying to advise motorists, urge them to make sure that, you know, yes, the roads are good and they look fantastic now, but do not give in to the temptation of trying to act like you are in an action film, so to speak. You have to really drive and tread that road carefully. Another thing that we're looking forward to on the Third Mainland Bridge with the new repairs that have been done are the CCTV cameras that Engineer Keisha mentioned, and also the speed limit cameras, as well as solar lights. So I take it that Lagosians have been wasting a lot of money trying to use generator to power these street lights. But going forward, just like the engineer said, the controller of works in Lagos State, in no time from now, all of that will be set and ready to run. Now, according to her, the CCTV cameras have already been bought, but they're just waiting for the installations as well as the solar lights as well. And I look forward to that because the Third Mainland Bridge is one road in Lagos that should always be lit up, just like you said, due to the security issues that come up from time to time there. And then even the frustrations of people who just wander to the bridge and decide that, oh, I want to end it all here. I feel that if the bridge is well lit up, we would have a reduced number of cases regarding insecurity and the other part.
No, thank God you already mentioned the fact that the controller said they've actually purchased some of those CCTV cameras, but they've not installed it, because I would have said I would have waited for someone to actually flout one of these traffic laws so that we can actually know if the CCTV camera are working. But one thing we know we can always test run or check in is once the solar lights are on, especially for you and Bernard who ply that route, you can easily tell when you're going back home at night that, oh, the light situation is now better. But I'm more concerned about the maintenance culture, because the truth is, as I said, it has become an annual ritual. In fact, speaking about ritual, I remember there was a trending video at some point that they said they were performing some ritual to appease the gods of the Third Mainland Bridge land or something, and it went viral. Well, let's not bring that here. But speaking about ritual, maintenance culture, and Bernard, this is a discussion I've always wanted to speak about. Don't you think it's high time that we have heavy-duty trucks not actually ply the Third Mainland route? Sincerely, I feel, especially by the time the deep sea port becomes fully operational now, and of course that place becomes a route for navigation, don't you think using the waterways would be a more alternate route for that?
I totally agree, and I think you've answered your question yourself, as a matter of fact. Unfortunately, we don't have any, we hardly have any other alternative to transport heavy goods in Lagos particularly. Rail would have been one good way, and then waterways would have been the other. Unfortunately, it's still the same road. So these are the things that would still cause wear and tear on our roads. In fact, my major concern is, because the Third Mainland Bridge now looks so good, and it's functioning very well, I believe it is now, these heavy-duty trucks will still continue to ply that route. Is this now the right time to begin to fix the other alternative bridges, which is the Eco Bridge and the Carter Bridge, or maybe one after the other, while the Third Mainland Bridge is now functional? But yes, I totally agree with you. It's time for our government to actually look into other alternatives when it comes to movement of heavy goods, like heavy logs, heavy machinery, sand, and all those kind of heavy things, crude oil, petroleum products. They should actually move on rail and water transportation. So it's time for the government to invest in alternate means of transportation.
I actually have a general question for you guys, because it's something I've been considering over time. Just as we have security personnel positioned on the Third Mainland Bridge, don't you think it's high time in Lagos we have rescue units and, of course, a mobile restroom actually placed on the Third Mainland Bridge? And I'm saying this because I know there was a time a colleague of mine tried doing a report, especially moving from that Adeniji back as if you're coming to Yanowara, and it was muddled up with excrete and so many things because people were just taking a dump there. And this, thank God, the CCTV camera is going to be installed. But these are things I think should be considered. Bettina, what do you think? Because if traffic catch you for that road for 3 hours,
I'm not sure why I'm laughing, but yeah, I agree with you anyway. But Bettina, this one is for you. So
well, just like you said, Bernard, the likelihood of having alternative routes for these heavy-duty trucks, we don't have them yet. So the best opinion or the best option would have been that while these repairs were going on, the government was talking about, oh, you know, after these repairs, going forward, we won't let these trucks, you know, navigate these roads again. They will have to take alternative routes. But none of that was said. So I guess we're still stuck with the same old thing that we've been used to. But having, you said mobile toilets on the bridge, I don't know how that will work, because why are you even stopping on the bridge in the first place?
Have you met traffic on the bridge?
I understand that, which is the more reason why there shouldn't be stops. There's no bus stop on the bridge. So if you're talking about mobile toilets, either it's going to be from the beginning of the bridge or at the end of the bridge, but definitely not in between.
Okay, Bettina, quickly moving on. Now, this is about the third time that the Third Mainland Bridge is going through, you know, this kind of rehabilitation repairs, you know, between last year and this year. Just like Niyi had rightly mentioned, how can we be sure now that, you know, this bridge is not going to go through another type of closure anytime soon? Did the minister or the commissioner say anything about whether or not there will be any closure anytime soon for another kind of repair or for any type of work?
Well, nothing of such was said. However, the Controller of Works, Lagos State, Engineer Keisha, did mention that there were still some other works that will be done underneath the bridge. So what has been done now, this past few months where we've had to wait and suffer the brunt of, you know, that bridge being locked, was just for the top of the bridge maintenance. They still have works that they're going to do under the bridge, so we don't know if at any point those repairs would affect usage of the bridge, but we'll wait to find out. But for now, let us just enjoy the fact that some kind of ease has come when it comes to transportation in Lagos State, and the stress of having to navigate all the way around to get to the island and back has been reduced.
I think there should also be some sort of high level of sensitization to motorists, because the truth is, aside the speed limit, stopping on the road, moving, taking corners, sharp corners to different places, these are all the things that could cause likely accidents. And all those things at some point, burning of vehicles will cause wear and tear of all these, the asphalt on the road. And I think it's some of the other things that the government might need to consider. Well, you know, now in Lagos, nobody won't agree for anybody. But we hope that in due time, all those things will be put in check. And let's hope that this rehabilitation work they've done for the Third Mainland Bridge will last long this time, so that you guys don't have to suffer this again.
We guys.
I'm just putting it there. I'm just putting it there.
Well done, Niyi.
I know I'm in deep soup for that, but it's okay. All right, so Bettina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Well, truly, I really do hope that the bridge will be maintained, you know, and that's the bottom line of everything. Regardless of how new, whatever it is the government puts in place or private sector puts in place for the people to use, it's a function of maintenance. And we know that over the years we've had issues with our maintenance culture. Hopefully, I love what you said about proper awareness to motorists, particularly commercial motorists, on how well to use the road, the bridge. Security stops. I think there actually are security points.
Yeah, there are. I see some. I see about 2, 3 at some stop.
And then some of those security stops too, one could use them as places to tow or push your vehicle into in case you have a breakdown or an issue. But security is going to be very, very major on that bridge.
Security has to be major, Bernard. It has to be, because I can tell you from experience, and of course from people I've heard from, close friends, that their vehicle had broken down on that particular bridge. And from nowhere, even if you're at the center of the bridge, from nowhere you just see these boys coming, trickling, ones and twos, and they just come in and like, Alpha, Killer Ali, something like that. What's going on? And you're like,
why do you sound like a voice?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm just voice acting. And you're trying to say, oh, I need help. And they're even trying to, you know, tax you and get money from you while you are in that situation. And when you're seeing about 5 to 6 of them, you're already feeling unsafe in a place where you know that it's not like anybody knows what is going on. And that's why I'm so happy about the CCTV camera that's coming on, because it will go a long way. And I do believe that this will push through not just the Third Mainland Bridge, but it will also push through other parts linking the Third Mainland Bridge, and even extended roads that are linking this bridge. And I want to pray, I pray the government that this is the best time for them to work on all other alternative routes. Because I remember when the Akpongbo Bridge was also having issues, and the Eko Bridge was having repairs done, and this one was also short. It was a mess. People were spending days in, but not days, not to exaggerate, but people were spending hours in traffic. It's by the time you get to work, you're half useless.
True, I totally agree. Anyways, congratulations to Lagosians and
congratulations to you, Bernard.
all users of the Third Mainland Bridge. We'll go on a quick break now. When we come back, we will be talking something more general in the world of health. What are we talking about? We'll be talking about autism.